Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. My name is Red again, and you're listening to another episode of Design Deconstructed. This is our sixth episode, I think, and my God, 6 weeks. Can you believe that? Anyway, we're right here right now in BRILL Studios again. One quiet afternoon. I think everyone is full. They've had their lunches. And speaking of being full, and a lover of lunches, my guest for today is one of those kind of guys. So, okay, before I start, it's supposed to be right. My guest for today is supposed to be his wife, actually. Supposed to be. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here because she has some business to attend to. But then, it's quite funny. By some stroke of genius, he's here with us today. So, ladies and gentlemen, our CEO, graphic designer, and a very brilliant web developer, Mr. Danusha Tharanga. Sir.
Yeah. Hi Red. Hi. How are you guys all? And thank you for inviting me.
You good?
And it's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, this is actually the sixth episode. Oh my God, it took us 5 episodes just to get you. That's how this guy is.
I'm always behind.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, like I said, it's supposed to be her wife that's going to be here. And can I share this? The one what happened yesterday. I was actually making. We were actually making questionnaires, right? We were making questionnaires, and I was saying, and I asked him. I told him, Sir Danusha, I need a list of achievements, right, from his wife, and then Sir Danusha replied, well, I'm her greatest achievement, and we were all.
That's the truth, I'm the greatest achievement.
But okay, for those of you guys who are first-time listeners here, this show is Design Deconstructed. It's a podcast where we basically discuss anything and everything about arts and design. And speaking of arts and design, here's our guest today, Mr. Danusha Tharanga. He is a web developer, a graphic artist, and also the CEO of our amazing company, BRILL Creations. Okay, sir, first of all, how are you feeling today?
Feeling great. Okay. And with you, I'm feeling more better than before.
Exactly, and it's also a Thursday. So
Yeah, it's a Thursday, so we're gonna have our weekends.
dinner night, right?
Planned dinner.
Okay, so first of all, what I want to know is how did you? Okay, you are our CEO, obviously, and our graphic artist, but before I came in here as a graphic artist, he was the one in charge of basically doing all of these magnificent artworks that you see all over BRILL Creations, right? But you actually started in web development. So how did it begin? How did you get from web development?
It's about like when I started this technological parts, that not that much into the graphic design that time. So I just love coding, and I'm thinking what I gonna do in the future. So I'm in the mission of finding my future, who I'm gonna be. Because I hate to say I'm gonna be a doctor, I'm gonna be a teacher, I'm gonna be a pilot, or all those things. So I was thinking, where my future plans will be. So in that mission, I gonna go with start development, the computer science that I studies after. So when I do studies in computer science, then it's triggered out me so I can do coding, I can do all these things. Like first making calculators, at that age when we development start, the languages was that time. So after that, it come to the stage of UI UX. So there should be a user interface design. So in that case, I'm thinking, if I gonna do entire project alone, how I can be maintain myself. Because I was having struggles to find my friends availabilities, like there's a UI designers, because when we start that age, there was no such a designs like elements or design assets available in that period of time. It was starting Windows 98 in our when we studying that language parts. We started from Visual Basics, all those. So it was very minor UIs. So that is actually Windows Vista time, if you remember that.
Oh my God, I hate that operating system.
Yeah, because they try to copy the so it like that's the time I'm going to start the UI UX. Like, okay, this is the time to be still I'm in studies of college and everything. So how about if I'm gonna go learn this design thing? This is the best thing. Okay, if I gonna go, I know already coding. I need to forward with all the designs I need to do, because I couldn't able to find anyone to support me in the UI UX. Then I work on a couple of projects as well in the development. So I was thinking, okay, this is the time to start it. So I start with just very basic, because YouTube also, okay, it was a challenge in in our country that time. The data is a challenge. There's not unlimited data like here in Qatar. So it was there was no proper in the university as well. There's no proper studies to give you a design for in development sector. It's always okay. You get the UI, you develop the user interface, user experience, all these things. Then in that case, I found one friend. I met him actually. It's a sudden movements happen with the friends, colleagues, and I met him. His name is Akila. So if he's hearing, if he's looking on it, definitely he will remember all the funny things we have done. So he pushed me like, okay, I act like I don't know anything about coding. So he put me in the situation, okay, this is the time when you race on designing part. So okay, he triggered me this, okay, you must do this. Then he will be he's a software engineer. He's a very senior one, even than me. He's a crazy one. So he pushed me, okay, Danush, this is the time that we do something together. So I left my job suddenly. Even I started learn the design properly. So he give me assets, he give me resources, he give me support. So on that, okay, I start to be interested in design better than the coding. Oh, is simply I drive to that part. It triggered me that not non-availability of the friends to support me in the UI UX. So in that even if you believe there was none anyone didn't support to do even design, just a slider image, nothing. So this is how I push through the design. Then after that, it came to me like, okay, I already start to do very basic, and after that the resource didn't available for me as well. So then I decided, okay, I do computer science, but this is I did, but next this is not anymore not into my interest. Development must be there. So there's a lot of story to say. So that's basically how I start the design. So there was a person behind me to support me on the design.
But the funny thing is, for us, because I'm not saying that you're old, okay? I'm not saying that I'm just saying that for our generation, right? For my age, graphic designers out there, graphic artists out there, I think all of us can agree that we envy you, because you are the generation who saw the change, the change from the traditional to the actually the dawn of the digital age. Like,
that's a transformation period, yes.
The internet age. Meanwhile, when we were born, I was born in the late 90s, but still, when I finally learned how to use a computer, all of it were there. It's just up to us to figure it out. But so if I'm going to ask you now, how do you think it changed that much from your college days when you were just tinkering with electronics, the web development and particularly design? How far do you think it changed?
It's like you have watched 2050 movie, like what's the future comes, it sudden changes, and some updates comes in even those changes by months, not by years. So even the OS before it was releasing, or even operating systems much more earlier than the other, like transformation of each and every operating system as well, softwares as well. So it's crazy change. If I say this shit change crazily.
Because and I think it's also one of the things, especially you're in web development, and when I think about it, I mean, I'm sorry, but when I think of web development, I think of people who are actually building websites. And I know it's more than that. There are people who are taking care of the servers and the data or whatnots. But when it comes to the web design, I remember when I was in grade school. I mean, if you compare like just the design of MySpace to the current design of Facebook, it's like night and day, right? It changed there were like new if we can go back in time and then explain to people what likes means, they're gonna be so confused.
Yeah.
What do you mean like? You can just thumbs up for no reason or something?
There was so many. There's not only likes. There was if Facebook started in 2004. After that, it came a poke. You can poke them. Yeah, you can poke them rather than the like. So if you don't know that person, if you want to just wake him up, so you can just poke him. Then he will be wake up. Okay, someone poked me. So this kind of dramatic change. So this is a particular category of user experience. So they not only the UI UX changes, not only the coding changes, everything, even the user experience and. With a modern, like you are in the future generation. So in this generation, it's already changed their user experience. They are more into the devices, so it make more easier for them to use. But in our age, it was not easy.
Yeah, and I remember also. I mean, maybe I'm not that old, but I remember the days of Yahoo Mail and all that. You will say AFK, away from keyboard, and see you somewhere. This kind of text lingo. Now nobody uses that because, everybody just assumes you have to be online. You cannot say you're AFK or something. You're gonna sound like a psycho, Okay, so you went from web development, from like programming and web development. Because guys, this is a secret. Well, not a secret, but if you guys just visit our website, brillcreations.com, and then look into our portfolio side, you will see all the magnificent websites that Sir Danusha actually designed over the past few years. You can see there like tons. It's not even complete, right?
Some are not complete.
Yeah, it's not even complete. That's not the whole picture. Like, there are a lot, but I want to know what is your masterpiece. Well, for all the years you've been a web developer.
There was a masterpiece actually. There was one. Unfortunately, the company couldn't able to continue. So, but still, I have the source code with me. That's one work I really love. So. The current one, see, after that transformation of design, I got like, my goal was to learn on everything that it related to build a brand. So when I got a project, I just not think about just, okay, this will be how it be. Okay, depend on the user experience, depend on the user design, whatever we made, there should be a quality outcome in every website. So when I do the masterpiece, I have bullet points that what I need to achieve. Some before I tell my masterpiece, I will tell the summary of this story. That it comes like when I do it, like some website I have done it month, then one day in hour I will delete everything. It doesn't fit my it not feeling it I don't feel it anymore. Simply I can say like that. It's just I keep more researching the new design layouts, elements, how it comes. Since I want to align everything according to the standard. So if the standard is not fitting to my standard, I will delete the entire thing. So even I start over again, but I need to bring out to the right quality. So there was a masterpiece, I can say now. There is my previous company, I can say. There's a few websites I have done alone. So I can say one is his e-commerce store. I done his Nabina store. So I can say it's because it's a 6-month project. I have worked alone until to the end. Last part.
No teams, no whatsoever, no teams.
No teams, single person. That's why it was a challenge, and it was 7 websites I have done, not only one website. So it was my challenge that I was managing a team as well. and I was only developer available and designer, brand manager, everything. So while I'm managing a team, all everything is my challenge to build those websites. So I remember all this, sorry, how I came up with that, the idea. Even I joined the company to build their website first as a freelancer. Then there was like in the design, you identify the really the expectation, what they really need on there. So after that, I came. That what I can say masterpiece currently. There's a lot of works also going on, and I believe my challenge and my own plan to make BRILL Creation is the masterpiece that I'm building.
Oh my God. See, that's how much he loves our company, all of us. And I'm very grateful because if we can make this, this is going to be for all of us in BRILL Creations.
Yes, it should be for every creator. That's why I go like, rather than building a company, we need to build a community. That's a creators community. So the website will be not available like a company profile that everyone is focusing. So, but website should be a place to get the information for the future entrepreneurs as well, for future creators. That's the main part of that.
Okay, so now let's talk about your foray into graphic design. I mean, you've been a programmer and a web developer for a very long time. When was it? When was it? Can you remember that day when you finally forayed into graphic design, where you actually, instead of, I don't know, Dreamweaver, instead of using Wait, I'm sorry. Is Dreamweaver still alive?
Still alive, of course. It will never die.
That is the only web stuff I can remember today,
In the Dreamweaver now they have given the most MUSC, something like that, another program. I didn't even look at it, but they make it more simplified. Adobe, is a crazy collection, and they're doing great work out there. So Dreamweaver still exists. I think they don't want to, forget the history of development and design.
But yeah, I still remember that because we used to study Dreamweaver before for like a minor subject. And that's the only thing I know about web development. That's it, kalas. that's as far as I know. But when did you realize that now you really are neck deep in graphic design? Because now you realize that you're no longer programming, now you have Photoshop and Illustrator in front of you. When was that?
It's actually funny story what happened. I told you I left my job to start the company with my friend. Only two of us, that's all. So we first built a learner's website. Just a learner, it's a driving school, and the learners, we call it in our country, it's a learners, but it's a driving school in the international. So what happened, like entire element done by me alone. Then after that, it became a gallery for me. So it was, even as I had this habit, I think it came from myself, like I don't like the design I done yesterday in today, so I must submit it, or I should not keep it longer with me. I will change my mind. Yeah. So what happened, like after that, he was telling me, see, you done this website, but you didn't even done proper logo for us, our company, what we were saying. So it triggered me. Yeah, actually, I'm now trying to be a designer, and I'm not into the logo designer. So then I said, okay, this is my last semester. I was thinking, okay, this is time to go for multimedia. It was a crazy change. It was not in many ways they say you are doing a mistake. You should not do this one. So that my friend was the inspiration for me in that period, because he's the one pushed me so bad. You have some basic skills. At least you have to. I'm a developer already, so I will take care of that part. You take care of this part. So we don't want to spend for any other UI designer or any other graphic designer. So after that website, after the gallery, I said I told you I'm changing. So I started to do the logo, and it took me almost 2 months, if you believe it. 2 months, because I don't like it. I don't like it. So that's the first way I think, okay, this is time now. I'm getting interest on the designs more. Then my mother, like, she say, okay, I think you are already designing, but how about you do a design course? So I started in one time 2 private schools. I started same time. 2, like, even I learned that time AutoCAD, even they have teach. Yeah, I don't know, it's related to a whole course. Photoshop, Premiere, even Premiere for After Effects. That one very all applications that time. Even my PC was not able to
Yes, correct.
only able to do Photoshop before the CC version, that time, and also the Illustrator that time. There was a PageMaker that time. If you remember now, InDesign they already after they bought it. So those are PageMaker we use for catalogs. So this is how it basically happened. That I feel like okay, this is my game now.
Yeah, and the thing about when you guys go into the graphic design world, and I speak for all of us here, when you go into the creative industry, it's very fast moving, and you cannot just stay in one place. Otherwise, you're gonna get left behind. Like you said, I remember when I was in grade school, the first Photoshop that I ever touched was Creative Suite 2, CS2. When the blue one, the blue with the white splash screen and all, and then time flies so fast that by the time I went into college, they already done, I don't know, 8 or 9 iterations of Photoshop. It's so fast. It's fast moving. And now, one of the things, sir, for you, that right now when you look back on it, you wish someone told you before entering graphic design.
Oh,
Because
there's a lot. There's a lot. Believe me, there's a lot. Because when I discover it by myself, some parts I'm already late. So I believe okay, I could learn this before. Someone should guide me that time. Because see, in even those universities or colleges, what they're just giving the tool for you. There's a missing part in the creative part, like how you're gonna solve that, how you're gonna come up with the design. How you gonna plan the design. Unfortunately, in my journey, I didn't found or didn't get any support to plan the design before you start the design. It's like someone asked me this one, you just start to do it. So it took me. That's why I think I practiced the planning. Okay, this is I need to make the layouting and everything. Whatever you do, brainstorm, and it came learn from my side. I believe someone could guide me that time. Plan first or brainstorm first. Just don't left behind. Like okay, just start to do it. Okay, thinking okay, I'm gonna do. I put this. No, there should be. You need to plan yourself, your mind, even the design. You're a creative person. Just you need to have some. Even you see, I told you, internet was a challenge that time. It was a data game. It will end very fast. I have something 5 GB, 10 GB. That's all for entire month. So I need to save the data. So search should be very less. YouTube videos. If you watch, it's good luck to you because data will be end. So we are watching always the lowest quality when they introduce the lowest quality method, data saving method. So those are the challenges. So in that case, we couldn't able current generation they have the. So I believe that someone said about that. Second one, the best thing about the colors. Asia different color. Since we are in the GCC different color, Europe different color. So color was a very missing point I had that time. Even all our class, when we learn about multimedia, even color was something hugely. Just cover when do the basic branding part, just the color about that. But how to make the color factors, color wheels, how it work out, color philosophy, how it work with them. Every.
yeah, I think that's most. I don't know why, but whenever I talk to a designer, this is one thing that they always bring up. It's about the color. They didn't teach us how to do this. And although I experienced that we had like 2 subjects just on color theory. That's it. But then, you think about it, a lot of people do not have the access to that. And I think guys, when you're a graphic designer right now, and be it you're a student or you're just someone trying to become a graphic designer, I think you should guys read up on it, the color theory, how they all mix around, because that's one of the most powerful tool.
Yeah, actually, it's even if you get the black and white, there is a color variant. This is what something basically missed. Even if you talk about, there's several type of graphic designers out there, different categories. Print media, print side have, digital side designers, so many type of category you can select. Now I'm more into the branding sector. So in that way, the color is very important as exactly. That's why at that time when okay, open the Photoshop. Now you have a flyer to make. Choose the best color you feel is good. That's what we get. Best color you will feel good. So whatever I feel good, I will put out there. Then when end result, when I see my old designs I done that time when I learned, I feel, I am the one I did this? It feel like horrible. Actually, that's the startup, so we can.
Everyone goes through that. Try to bring up, if you guys are graphic artists out there or VFX artists, whatever, try to dig up your projects from like 2 years ago.
Yeah, you can have satisfaction by yourself. Or you will laugh by yourself. What happened all this journey.
And I think, if I may add also, if there's one thing that I wish someone taught us when becoming a graphic artist, is that there are always shortcuts to everything. And I'm not saying that you guys should be lazy. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that for every design that you are going to do, there's always a shortcut for that. Like, okay, I'm gonna give you an example. When you're patching things up in Photoshop, the old way for that is to go around with clone tool and all. And to this day, it's still the most effective way to do it. Just use the clone tool and all and patch the things up. But now Photoshop realized that these people love using the clone tool. We're gonna make a tool just for that. So they introduced the patch tool and all. They introduced the content aware, and also for 3D artists out there, people always they like to render the fog and all. But when you look back, way back in the 90s, they're not doing that because it's too much computer intensive. So what they do is just they render out the passes and all, and then just layer them on top of each other in Photoshop. So I think what I'm trying to say is, and this is gonna tie into my very next question, are the tools right now, because you and I, we're both traditionalists, we use Photoshop and Illustrator. So I think you know where my question is gonna go now. Okay, do you think that now us traditionalists are, we are on the edge now? Like, we are on the cliff edge, because now there are tools that are coming out that are much better, which more effort, but way more detailed. Things that we used to do for 20 minutes, now you can just do it in one click, and that's it.
There's plenty of tools and a huge challenge out there, because really that now after this generation, I don't know, I feel like it will end in because AI will do everything.
Yes.
So yes. AI will do everything, even the design. So, and it's like designers' life will be template based. There's plenty of templates out there. Even who's not even capable of design, who never learned design, they can design now using those tools. So,
but wait, here's the thing. I think we would be different. Like, okay, there are like tools out there with Canva, which we really love using all the time, right? But like you said, there will come a time that there will be just templates, and you can just get all your designs, But I think for us traditionalists, and I think there will still be some people out there who is still going to be part of that minority, who are now going to be in turn the producers of those templates.
Exactly, that's what I was going to come that to, because end of the day, it comes those templates need to be created. Yes. So there should be a designer behind it, whoever it comes. So even the AI made by our own code, we have to make AI also. When we make algorithms, when we make AI, we have to code it. So exactly the same thing. There should be who make those resources available, template available. So still there will be a work. But I'm thinking like if you're gonna go social media content creation, it become way more simply like than before. When we do with Photoshop, Illustrator, we make all this the elements layout, now it become just one click away.
Now it's too easy. Like I'm saying, we've said this all the time on this show. We say it all the time in all of our different shows. Nowadays, guys, whether you're be in graphics, whether you be in social media, whether you be in web development, like there's no excuse anymore. You cannot, because right, if you lived in the early 2000s, late 90s, you could say, oh, because Photoshop is very expensive. Oh, because this and that is very expensive. Now you don't have.
Even if you come to the development sector, that you heard about Figma, all this. It already elements are available. Even the animation we built with CSS before, and before it was a Flash age, if you remember. That was the age we have seen.
Yeah.
Okay, this is wow. Now Flash is they stop already the entire program.
That's also what I'm going to say. Because I was just reading Reddit last night. In their Reddit, if you guys are users of Reddit, go to that subreddit graphic design, and they were debating about why some people don't like the modern tools that are being used today. Things like Canva, things like Figma, things like all that versus the Photoshop, the Illustrator, and all. And I was just reading through the comments, and then I read one comment, and he was like, I've been a graphic artist since the 1980s, something along that lines. I've seen the transformation from traditional artworks, traditional ways of doing stuff, into the Flash age, when Adobe Flash was the king of the internet, into the Photoshop world, into the the After Effects, the Premiere, and then now we have Canva, we have Figma, now we have all those kind of apps. And he was arguing that end of the day, these are just tools, like this is not like you don't order a steak and then you ask the chef, what's the brand of your pan or something. Exactly. No, you don't do that, right? It's the same pan, whatever it is. As long as the end product is good, it's going to be good. But I think you know this. The thing that scares me, and I want your opinion on this, is about artificial intelligence. Because we've seen the news. Like, there is an AI right now that's being developed. It's called DAL-E 2. It is the successor to the DAL-E 1 that's available right now. You can access DAL-E 1 on crayon.com. We will provide links on our YouTube channel. Anyway, what do you think? What's your take on that?
See, it gonna come age like everything will done in that we see Terminator, all these things. That's a movies already done. Even the actions, not only the design sector, every part it will be robotic sector. So all AIs will control many things. So they say it's more productive than they already measured. So the design part, like of course those tools will do the job for easier for the people. And you already know, even the social media is changing to that. It will have more opportunity for 3D designers. Currently, it's having already when you go into the meta. So when it's coming to 3D also, those kind of tools will utilize the things. End of the day, like it will be a huge change. I mean, but I say that you will have still chances to create things, like crazy thing. Like UI will generate the data we are going to input. If you see Dali, after we discuss about that discussion today, like I have seen like how they wireframe it. Is every node they connected. If you say monkey on a bike, it will generate the entire image. Yeah. But there was more than 100,000 of monkeys they already uploaded there, and the AI will utilize from those data. So see, there's a data encoding there. So if data is not there, some data, AI will not able to generate. But there will be a generation will come that AI will do crazy things that we never expect, like Terminator we see. But still there is the next generation age, it will come. Maybe it will not exist in that time.
But it's so scary, isn't it? You've seen the outputs, guys. Just search for it. If you're watching this, listening on Spotify, just Google DAL-E 2 and then just look at the outputs.
It's crazy, and it will be getting better and better. How they develop it itself. So it's crazy, as it's scary. I hope we will not see it.
Yeah. For now, guys, just hold on to your Photoshops and Illustrator. We're here to stay.
We need to stay. We need to fight for it. We need to fight for it until we can.
Okay, so now we're nearing the end of our podcast, so I'm gonna ask you some quick takes, if you will. Okay, so first question is Mac or PC? I mean, it's hard when you're using literally a Mac right now.
Mac PC, right? See, okay. I'm a fan of Windows, but because why? Most developers they love Windows because there's a lot of capabilities.
Yeah.
Mac is good for creators. When I now see, recently I become fan thanks to you one actually, and thanks to Mark if you are pushing me always. And I see, is Mac PC is good for creators. It's not for gamers. It's like you cannot put a Lamborghini car in the mud road and say okay. So we cannot play games. You know, I was a fan of game. I was streaming games. So I create the gaming elements and everything all in Windows. There are a lot of tools available. Apple Mac is a great. I'm now agreeing it. Before I'm not an Apple user. I'm agreeing now. Yeah, Apple is a great creation. You know, it's an ecosystem. Now I'm studying and I'm having few experience with that. So as many designers as I say use Apple. That's the best. Those use Mac. Yeah, I'm getting it now because all these years I was only using Windows and several times only I use Apple. Yeah, it's coming to end I think, but Windows I will never forget Windows.
Okay, and my next question also is, since now we're in the business of content creation, podcast or YouTube?
Oh my I can say podcast and YouTube, but you ask now why?
Podcast or YouTube? Which one? Just pick one. You cannot pick the both.
Okay, I may say YouTube. You know why I'm saying, because yeah, podcast you are only categorizing to mostly for the audio is fine, and you know how crazy TikTok is, how crazy the in this generation transforming to videos. So even you will see YouTube videos it coming as shorts now. So I believe like there's a more advantage. Like see, when you record YouTube video, even as a podcast, you will publish in YouTube and you have the audio already. Yeah. So I believe it's better. For me, I will choose YouTube.
To me, personally, I prefer podcasts because I can work while listening, But if YouTube, you have to look at it, and see, especially. But I think if the host and the guests are this handsome, I think you guys are gonna watch YouTube. So. Oh, by the way, if you are listening to this, okay, we have a YouTube channel. So, just so you know, this is also going to be posted on our YouTube channel. So again, that's it. But lastly, what is the guest's advice for all of us? Not just graphic designers, okay? Not just graphic artists, VFX artists. No, you as a guest. You, because you're a web developer, what is your advice to everyone? And we ask this all the time because I really want to. I think this is the most important thing, especially for the young kids who are watching or listening to this podcast. What's your best advice for them?
I'll give you the best advice. Do it practical. Do it practical, yes. Believe in theory, but you must do in practical. Then you will understand. You will learn yourself. You can watch 100 YouTube videos. You can watch in the same thing, but each one of the YouTubers, they are giving their practical experience or their opinion. So until you do practical, you will not understand the reality of any of them. Because when we start a business, basically, everyone say don't take the risk, don't do this. It will be like this. It will be like this. That's their opinion. Did you try it before? After you try it, tell me that how it look like. So when you be practical, do it practically, you will learn better than any theory. That's how I build my career. Like I did it practically. I get the challenge, I did it. Whatever it hard, you must do it. Then you will find lot of ways to do it in better.
And I guess also it's because I think experience. It boils down to the experience. It's the best teacher out there.
Experience by doing it practically.
Yes.
So until you do it, you cannot judge it. Okay, it will come this way. It will come this way.
Yes.
Who are you to judge it? You cannot judge it. Anyone cannot judge it. Even see if someone already done it. Our 5 fingers are not the same, right? So equal is different. So there'll be different ways by different person. So different brains work out. So maybe that person, to him, when he do the practical, it will not work out for him. But for you, it will work out. So my best advice is be practical. Do it practically.
Okay, thank you very much for that. And guys, do it practically. Okay, it will help you. It will help you. It will help the people around you, and you know, it's gonna help you in your life. It doesn't matter what your career is, whether you're in the creative industry or not. So, okay, the very last thing. Thank you very much, Sir Danusha. Where they can find you online.
Okay, and first of all, thank you so much for inviting me again, and it's a pleasure to be here. Yeah.
You're always welcome to come back into the show.
I will. I was counting when I gonna get an invitation. It was like that, you know. So everyone get invited by Red, but when? But that's so it came suddenly as a surprise. You can find me. You can find me in BRILL Creations. That's first thing.
Okay, follow us, guys. If you guys aren't following us, please follow us at BRILL Creations. We are on Instagram, we are on TikTok, we are on YouTube. And speaking of YouTube, you also have your own podcast, right? Tell us more about your podcast.
Yeah, the inspiration I get from you, Red. I have to say that to do podcasts. That I was not that much a camera person. I have to say. So still I'm working it out. I'm just mostly behind the scene person. So my podcast is Tech Unplugged. So I'm inviting you to see. I think that's the first video we have published over in YouTube. So I'm improving. We are going to talk about their technical things, even out from the technical things, about the tools, about digital marketing that happen now. Many people they see. So a lot of challenges, a lot of things. I'm going to invite a lot, and definitely you will be in one of my podcasts as well.
Thank you very much.
Because I have a lot of things to ask, because I have seen how you work, so I have a lot of questions to ask as well.
I'm looking forward to it.
Definitely.
Okay, thank you very much, Sir Danusha. That wraps it up. That's our episode 6. And guys, if you haven't followed us yet, please do follow us. Give this a like or comment down below for your thoughts and your suggestions. And we will see you again next week on the next episode of Design Deconstructed. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.